Hi everyone. Today we're going to answer the simple question of whether the Genki Covert Dock still has some function with the Switch 2. Now, other YouTubers, including Nintendo Dads and Linus Tech Tips, have already answered the question of whether the Genki Covert Dock can be used to port the display of the Switch 2 onto a monitor, screen, TV, etc. And the answer they've given is that no, this dock will not have the full functionality of a Switch 2 dock because the display cannot be transferred over. And that has to do with a different protocol that Nintendo uses for the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1. But there are still other functions that the Genki Covert Dock had, and that's why I like this nifty little device. It's also a charger, right? It plugs directly into the wall. It's really easy to use portably and to bring with you when you're traveling. And so I want to test today whether you can still use this for a couple different functions. One, whether you can charge your Switch 2 with the Genki Covert Dock. And two, whether you can use this USB-A port, for example, to plug in a wired controller. So let's check it out. So let's first just plug this into the wall. Okay, so the first thing we'll test is whether it can charge the Switch 2. So what we'll use here is the USB to USB-C to USB-C cable that came with the Genki Covert Dock. And let's see if it can charge. So first plug this portion in to the Covert Dock. And then the other end of the cord we will plug directly into the Switch 2. And as you can see, the Switch 2 is indeed now charging as a result of having a USB-C cord connected into the Genki Covert Dock. So that answers the first question. You can indeed still charge your Switch 2 using the Genki Covert Dock. And let's see if the USB-A port can be used to connect a wired controller. So the controller we'll use for that test is the Hori Split Pad Compact using the attachment set. As you can see here, it connects via USB-A. So let's see if we can connect to the Switch 2 through the Covert Dock. Okay, so as you can see, we are plugged in, and there you have it. You can see we are connected via USB, and that is indeed through the USB-A cable in the Genki Covert Dock. So just so you can see, right, we can use the controller here. I can boot up Mario Kart World using our wired Hori Split Pad controller. All right, so we've answered our two questions. The Genki Covert Dock can still be used with a Switch 2 to power the device and to connect USB-A devices such as a wired controller. The functionality is limited in that you cannot port your display over through the HDMI port that is in the Genki Covert Dock. All right, that answers what I wanted to hear today, but if you have other questions, let me know. And please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks.